Hey, this is Seth, and in this video, I'm going to answer the question, is digital marketing saturated? I get this question a lot from people who have seen my interviews and testimonials, and they're very excited about this career field, but then they have a legitimate concern, which is, am I too late? Did I miss out? Are the positions already filled already? And also, if you Google this topic online, there's a lot of misinformation and bad ideas from people that don't know what they're talking about. So I'm going to give you the truth, the real insight based on statistics, based on reality, based on my 6 years of helping people get jobs in this field. So the reality is that digital marketing as a career path and in terms of getting clients is 100% not saturated. In fact, it is the opposite. There is a lack of skilled workers and a high demand for people with those skills, which is how my students are able to get hired with no experience except what they generate in my course, even though job postings say you need 3 years experience, 4 years experience, and things like that. That is cold hard facts, and I'm going to show you it right now. Because if you go back to 2016, 2017, which is about when I started teaching this, you'll see on LinkedIn in the United States, every day, there was about 20,000 open digital marketing jobs daily. And you can see this is one of the walkthrough videos I did back in 2017. Fast forward to 2022, that number is about 10 times as many. There are about 200,000 open digital marketing jobs in the United States on LinkedIn every single day. That is because digital marketing has exploded in the last 6 years, or 5 or 6 years, okay? Not only have more and more businesses gone online to advertise, we had a pandemic which forced millions of businesses that had been resisting or slow to adapt this to get online. So everything has just grown exponentially. Now, why do some people think digital marketing is saturated? Because they're not actually talking about jobs in this field. What they're talking about is the fact that digital marketing itself has become more competitive, which is good for you if you are a job seeker. And if you are a business owner or trying to launch your own online business using any of the methodologies I discussed in my other video, how to realistically make money online, whether you want to start an e-commerce store, drop shipping, you want to do affiliate marketing, you want to start your own blog, you can still have success in all those paths, but it is a lot more competitive than it was even a couple of years ago. There are more and more people competing for eyeballs, competing for dollars. There's big e-commerce brands that have become very successful, and anytime you decide you want to start from scratch, you want to start your business from nothing, you have to then invest capital. You have to invest sweat equity in market research and building your website or building your brand. You have to put dollars into your paid advertising, and you have to do that all by yourself. So from that perspective, it is a lot more competitive, and some people would even say saturated, in various niches within digital marketing in terms of like search engine optimization. Here's an example. Search engine optimization is when you are modifying your website and creating content that Google likes, and Google says, these things are relevant to what people are searching for, so I'm going to give you I'm going to have you show up at the top of our search results. Now here's a good example. Back in 2010, I started a blog about film school because I'm passionate about filmmaking and films and filmmaking. And I started a blog called Film School Secrets. And back in 2010, using just a little bit of these SEO techniques and creating some relevant content, I was able to get about 25 to 50 people a day coming to my website for free. Now that 25 or 50 doesn't sound huge, but that's like over 1,000 people a month coming to my website, and people who ended up buying my course at the time, my filmmaking course. But that was a very, very fast result. It happened very quickly because there was less competition. There were fewer other websites competing to get ranked high on Google for my filmmaking and film school keywords. Fast forward to 2022, 12 years later, and it's a lot more competitive. There are more websites competing for Google's favor, which means that your website has to be better. You have to, be better at SEO, and you have to be very, very patient with it. Same thing with paid search. If you go back to 2010, Google was only making, and I say only, kind of tongue-in-cheek, about $30 billion a year, whereas now they make over, I think it's about $200 billion a year in advertising revenue. So back then, there were fewer advertisers competing, meaning the cost per click, meaning the cost to get somebody to click on an ad to come to your website was much less, so therefore paid advertising was less competitive. But At the same time, there weren't as many jobs. The reason there are so many jobs now is because it's become more competitive. It is a good thing for you if you are seeking a job. Because digital marketing is more competitive, because more companies are spending more money on digital marketing, companies need skilled workers to manage advertising budgets. And because there continues to be a lack of skilled workers, because colleges are stupid, they are still teaching outdated marketing curriculums. They are not taking digital seriously. I've even had a student who told me that his marketing professor or a classmate's marketing professor said, quote, "Facebook is a fad." It's a billion-dollar company, and they're calling it a fad because a lot of these professors are completely out of sync with reality. They're stuck in the 80s and the 90s. And so what you have is millions of college graduates, whether they majored in marketing or they didn't, coming into the workforce with no idea how to do even the basics of SEO or PPC or paid social or anything like that. And what does that mean? That means that there are opportunities, the barrier for entry is very low for people who do have this skill set. And companies, if you watch my interviews with my students, you'll hear again and again that they showed these companies the basics of what they had generated on their own. They demonstrated their work ethic, their passion, their knowledge, and the companies will hire them and then continue to train them up to handle the bigger budgets and the bigger levels of responsibility. And that has continued since 2016. And personally, I thought back in 2017, 2018, I thought that at some point the colleges would get smart or something would change where more and more people would get trained in this skill set, but it has not happened. The jobs have continued to increase and the supply of skilled workers is not that high. Now, if you watch my digital marketing videos, I show you specific job postings where you'll see, yes, there are like 200 applicants, but LinkedIn will show you the skill sets of those applicants, and they rarely have digital marketing skill sets. I've shown you some remote jobs where 200 people apply, and nobody has digital marketing skill sets. They've got like customer service, leadership, PowerPoint, stuff that has nothing to do with the jobs, which is how my students are able to stand out and get hired. So it is absolutely not saturated. Digital marketing is not saturated as a career path. But again, if you do want to start your own e-commerce business, drop shipping, blog, then it's going to be a lot more competitive from that perspective, which is why I recommend that people, rather than jumping in, face first into your own business, where you may not even be aware of the expenses you'll have to, put into the business, like in terms of Amazon FBA, you have to spend thousands of dollars on inventory, or you may have to, build a website or do a lot of market research or then spend money on ads and spend money on SEO, and most people don't even know how to do that. Rather than jumping into your own business and wasting a lot of money and learning the hard way, why not learn digital marketing skills, work on client accounts, get a job where you're going to work on more client accounts, and then once you've got some experience and some knowledge under your belt, then you could start your own business like Keyshawn is doing. I've mentioned him before, but he's a young student of mine. He's only 20, making $70,000 a year salary at a digital marketing agency, learning on the job, but he's also going to start his own business on the side as he feels he has the confidence and the experience to do so. But it wouldn't be possible for a 20-year-old with no college degree to get a $70,000 a year job if this field was saturated. That's my whole point. The opportunities are abundant because society in general is so backwards. They are still forcing people to go to college, waste 4 years of their life, go into debt, and learn no marketable skills at all. So, if you don't believe me, go through some of the walkthrough videos on my channel. You will see job after job after job, and you will see this field growing over time. So anyway, guys, I hope that's answered your question about is digital marketing saturated. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below, and I will see you in the next video.